Hi Johnny, this is Silas in Nova Scotia, and I'm making a little video to show you the results of the experiments I've been doing with your paper mache clay recipes. First though, I want to say a big thank you for your fabulous website and all the articles and videos that you posted, and for your books which are winging their way to me through the mail right now. My wife would tell you that I've developed a major paper mache obsession since I discovered your website, and every time I find a new article or a new video that you posted, it gets me all excited again. So I just want to thank you so much for all the work you put into spreading around the knowledge and not just making your nifty projects that you make. I have a couple of things that I have made with your clay right here. This is the first paper mache clay project that I made. It's a sun, which is going to be a prop in a little play that we're doing here. As you can see, I haven't got around to sanding it and painting it yet, but the paper macheing is all done. And you might recognize this hen. This is my second project that I got off your website and your YouTube videos. So, to the recipes. I made 3 different versions of the paper mache clay. I made one version which was your original Johnny Clay 1, but with Rich's homemade glue in place of the PVA glue. So this is a 3-step process. First you cook the cornstarch to make with the liquid starch, then you cook the homemade glue, and then you mix it up with the joint compound and the paper pulp to make the paper mache clay. Then the second version of the clay that I made is just paper pulp mixed with joint compound and a little bit of mineral oil, which I've been using in place of the linseed oil. No other ingredients. So it's obviously a lot simpler to mix up, a lot less trouble. And then this is your original Johnny Clay 1 with the PVA glue. So this is your actual original recipe here, apart from mineral oil in place of the linseed oil. So the results are, both of these clays work quite well. The Johnny Clay plus Rich's homemade glue is what I used for most of this project, and the paper pulp plus the joint compound is what I used for the hen. I can't find any difference in the function of these two. They're both easy to spread, they work quite well. They're not as strong as I might have liked or as I might have expected from the descriptions on your website. There's a couple of places where you say it's extremely hard and extremely strong. When it has an armature behind it and it's all dry, and especially once it's covered with gesso and then painted, and then this has spar varnish on the outside of it, you can see it's quite solid, and it's hard for me to think of a situation where either of these two clays wouldn't be strong enough or hard enough. But as you can see, when I made these sample kind of swatches of the Johnny Clay, it does snap pretty easily. Both of these, they're about the same. Maybe this one is even a little bit easier to snap than the stuff with the PVA glue. So because I run across your descriptions a couple of different places about how strong and hard it was, that's why I went back and made this original recipe with the PVA glue. It's quite a bit stronger. You can see it takes a lot more force to break it, and when it does break, it does really snap. So here's the bottom line for me. The Johnny Clay with the PVA glue, I share Rich's frugality, maybe would be a nice word for it. And I like to avoid using a great big cupful of PVA glue when I can, just because it's fairly expensive. So unless I was looking for a situation where I needed a really strong clay, maybe if there wasn't much of an armature or something like that, or there was going to be a lot of stress on the project I was making, that's the only situation I think of where I would suggest using the PVA glue. In terms of the other 2 recipes, you can't beat simplicity. So the paper pulp plus the joint compound is just so easy to mix up. It was just 50-50. Paper pulp to joint compound, and then a little splash of mineral oil to smooth things out, I guess. I still think there's some chance that the presence of the sugar and the flour in the homemade glue and in this recipe will be a little more attractive to microbes and molds and so forth. This stuff doesn't have anything edible in it, or at least nothing tasty. There's no sugar and no flour in this recipe. So I think I'm going to be sticking with this recipe, and I just wanted to share those results with you, and I'll probably send the link to Rich as well, in case he might find this interesting as well. So thanks again for all your advice and your teaching, and for being so faithful to respond to me and to all your other readers, and happy paper macheing.